But since you agreed to push it back.
We are live. It's the Mina's House Podcast, episode 210. Wow, sheesh. I'm your host, Mina SayWhat.
Garnett, Briscoe.
Stuckey.
And we are here once again. Shana's not feeling well today, so it is just us. I hope she feels better. You know, everybody is sick. Something's going on. Every other week, someone's sick. So
everybody is not sick. I haven't been sick.
That's a surprise.
Yeah. All that.
Can y'all hear me? I forgot to grab my mic today.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I just realized, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, my mic isn't in.
Cheers, Dex. Cheers, Dex.
Oh, Garnett is wearing a turtleneck today. He actually looks like he went to work today.
Yeah, you see me? Listen, I look like I'm in Power Book 2.
Yes, you do.
What I look like.
Yo, what's up with that? Because I canceled my Star subscription because it's a little pricey. What's going on with that show?
Well, I don't watch Power Book at all. I don't watch it, but I can tell you that I'm fully caught up on what's happening right now. Like, apparently last week's episode was the best episode in TV history, and I think somebody got killed. The main character, I think he's maybe cheating on his girlfriend or something like that.
So
a lot is going on. Like, I'm like,
nah,
everybody's talking about it. Like, people cannot stop talking about this.
No, it was definitely one of the best episodes in like Power, like history. Like they nailed this one. This was wild. So basically,
somebody screwed somebody over, and we're trying to figure out who screwed who over. Yeah. And there's like a list of suspects. I'm telling you, like I said, I've never watched an episode, but I can tell you a lot about this past episode. Somebody's son is or nephew's their son or something like that. Like, it's some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. Like, see, Dex, no, he be paying attention to the TL. So I literally just caught up yesterday. You know, everybody liked the watch. Like, they've been talking about it since like basically midnight. You know, Saturday night into Sunday, because that's when you can watch it. So I'm actually a little late, even though I watched it yesterday. But yeah, you're absolutely right. One of the characters, Zeke, the one with the hair in my background, this one right there. So he's supposed to be, this whole time, he was Mary J. Blige. Her name is Monet.
Her nephew, right?
Yes, exactly. You know, he's the one that's supposed to be going to the NBA, basketball player. So, you know, he was a murder suspect. He ended up, you know, beating that as far as like, you know, not being accused no more. Because they got Tariq now as like the new murder suspect. He was arrested. You know, he's on bail and stuff like that. So in this episode, he ends up finding out that he's actually not her nephew, that he's actually her son. And not only is he her son, but he's not 19. He's not 19 years old. He's actually 23.
What?
So they're all
Rifling.
They're all at this family.
Yeah, I had a different mama and I'm old.
No. Well, yeah, but I'm guessing she's been taking care of him like forever. But in that time, they exposed basically that, you know, clearly the dad didn't know that because that's not his dad. So now the whole family is kind of thrown back because she was cheating on her husband.
Monet, Mary J. Blige's character.
Exactly. And her husband just got out of prison.
I feel like this show has put Mary's career like on another level. It's not like Mary hasn't been acting. She's done some amazing acting roles. I just feel like ever since this role, it's kind of catapulted her into like a different category. And she's doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yep. Yeah. She's I mean, not even just her. I know we're highlighting her right there, but you know, all of the cast members, so to speak, like the main characters, they all seem to do like pretty well, like after Power or outside of Power. I know Tariq is basically, you know, the superstar, and this is built around him, but I'm interested to see like exactly where he goes just outside of that. I know he's like hosting parties and stuff now. Like who the heck thought like a little actor that we saw basically grow up on TV is now like who wants to party with Tariq St. Patrick. But there are plenty of people that actually want to do it. So, yeah.
I feel like it's a gift and a curse. It could be a situation where people can only see you in that role, or it can be a situation where you can catapult into something more if he gets a bigger role than that, you know?
Well, no, I was going to say that's why I believe Ghost left Mari Hardwick.
Yeah. Amari's just complicated. He wants more characters that are in depth.
He wants to be the Black Panther. Remember, he said Chadwick Boseman told him he wants him to be Black Panther. That's what he wants.
I could see him being the Black Panther. I could see that for him.
You know, people going
only you and him can see that.
Only I could see that. You said that.
Only you and him. That's it.
All right, let's hop into what's in our feed. There was quite a bit of chatter about Cardi B suing a YouTube blogger for defamation and libel. So this blogger is literally just on YouTube. Apparently, she has a lot of influence, enough for Cardi B to feel like she had to sue her. The woman was saying she has herpes, all kinds of STIs, said she was a prostitute. Now, Cardi B actually sued her and won a judgment of $1.3 million. Obviously, Cardi B doesn't need the money. This was a statement lawsuit. But moving forward, do you think this is going to change how these people on the internet kind of move with how they speak on the artists?
I say no, and the reason why I say no, this woman or girl, she left out the key word, and this is why you can almost say anything with the key word is
right.
Allegedly. You know, so that's the one thing that held her back, where, you know, people are going to say anything, whether somebody just died or somebody, you know, just got caught in the airport fighting somebody. You know, when you use that word allegedly, you can pretty much say anything about anybody, even if it's not true, but allegedly it is. So I think in this case, maybe, you know, she got a little bit too comfortable, but that's how she also built her platform as well. So, you know, it's a win for Cardi and it's a win for the other entertainers that, you know, don't necessarily enjoy that part of media where you have people just making stuff up and, you know, just basically saying anything with no factual information behind it. It's just, you want to say it to get these headlines and get this attention. So I don't think, but for the landscape that anybody else changes, I just think it's maybe more of an eye opener to say, hey, just make sure you say allegedly, you want this problem.
I don't even think she's gonna start doing that though. Like Tasha K is like known for like, I mean, a lot of the stuff she says is true too. Like she like breaks a lot of like celebrity news and stuff. Like I remember she was the first one that talked about Nene Leakes dating someone right before her husband died. Then her husband died, and then she was immediately out with someone. So Tasha's like, I told y'all about this. And like even now, like this situation happened, whether it's true or not, really, you can't go out there and saying that. Like just because Cardi won, that doesn't make it true or false. It's just like you defamed my character, so therefore I'm going to sue you. Like you have no proof of this stuff. Tasha's already spinning this. She's like, I'm going to make a statement about the case tomorrow. And people are actually looking forward to it. Like Mina said, this woman is just on YouTube. That's it. Like she doesn't have a TV show. She doesn't have a radio show. She's really just a YouTuber. And people are anticipating what she has to say about this case. Like it's literally like, yes, Cardi won the case, but this woman is not going to stop. And she's going to capitalize on losing this case. Like this is what they want. People like this, they want attention no matter how they're going to get it. And she's going to run with this. And she's starting to run with it now.
I just think it's a travesty what's going on right now with all these like new kind of new media people, these podcasters. And look, we're podcasters as well. And, you know, we have YouTube shows, we're YouTubers as well, but we don't make our whole platform isn't just that, right? Right. I think for all of us, this is an extension of things that we already have going on. But it's like, even with the Ari Lennox thing, how that podcaster asked Ari Lennox about her, you know, her sexual life, and it was really inappropriate. I just think that there's like these new media people that just don't care.
Well, you know? I think the media people are like that because of their subjects too. Because you got to remember, like last week, even us, we had a conversation about I forgot his name. I forgot her name. The one who went off on people. Yo Gotti. No, it wasn't Yo Gotti. What's the guy's name? that sings about, I feel like I'm old now. He sings about Waukesha.
Oh, Moneybag Yo,
Yo's
Ari
girlfriend.
Fletcher.
Yeah, like so these are celebrities now. Like Ari Fletcher's a celebrity. Lil Wayne's daughter is a celebrity. Like, these are people that don't have like actual like talent, but like we're celebrating them, like the girlfriend of a rapper and stuff. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, do I really need to be Oprah if I'm talking to somebody like this? Like, I think it makes sense for me to be like sensational as possible, because like, look who I'm talking to. Like, it's not like I'm talking to like a respectable talent. I'm talking to somebody's girlfriend who has 1 million followers on Instagram. That's like, that's who I'm talking to right now. It's like, I don't know. I just think like the bar is really low for celebrities. So like, I think the people who are talking to, like, could you imagine like a Oprah sitting down and having like a conversation with like Ari Fletcher? Like, it's kind of like, what are we going to talk about? And I think that's why these people thrive, because like they're willing to have these conversations with these celebrities.
Yeah. Well, I hope that more people sue other people, just so we can raise the bar a little bit, because I think it's a little bit like the Wild Wild West.
Yes.
Like, people that are saying something and then gain credibility, just because they're saying something ridiculous enough to get enough views or get enough, eyes or ears. And then the people who are getting interviews, like, why are these artists having legitimate interviews with people who have no media experience prior to whatever it is they're doing? And look, I applaud these outlets because they're giving people that wouldn't otherwise have these opportunities, but I don't think people utilize it in the right way, and they kind of mess it up for everyone else. Because now you have someone like Ari Lennox saying, well, I'm not doing no more interviews, take me off the label. It messes it up for everyone else because you want to be an a-hole and ask a dumb question that you thought was cute but was completely inappropriate.
Right. I mean, it's people, they've built the platform worthy enough, I guess, for people to want to do interviews with them. So I can understand why, an artist would want to go and see. Now, he isn't one of these people, but would want to go sit down with a Joe Rogan. Well, it's because he actually built that platform, and he's not, quote unquote, like a media trained person, but this is the field that he's in now. Well, he's been in it for a little while now, but that's why I feel like it's
yeah, but Joe Rogan has a background doing something else.
Yeah,
it's not like he was a plumber and then got on YouTube or started a podcast and now you're a podcaster. Like, he was in the business of entertainment in some way, right? Am I not? Isn't he like an actor, comedian, kind of?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. But I mean, I just said it to make a point, whereas that he had to build that platform within that space, and that's why the people feel comfortable on going. Now you make a good point of saying he comes from this kind of background though, but I'm just kind of just focusing on him having the platform and building it to a point where he could call somebody up and say, hey, do you want to come join my platform? So,
and then they would say yes,
right?
Because but then there's on that same token of where I think you were going, there's this podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast, and these are people that
even mention that. Why would you even mention it?
Because like that makes more sense to the point that you're making. Because like those are people who don't have this background that Joe Rogan have, and people are still going on that podcast. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like you could work hard and be Joe Rogan and get the big guests, but then those same guests will go on this podcast and get trashed. You know what I mean? And then they have even have the expectation to go on there and be disrespected.
I've never. So what's that podcast about?
Hating women, bashing women. Like they just got like recently they were in the news because there was a woman on there, I forgot her name, Danny Lee or something like that. One of those girls, those Instagram girls, one of them was on there, and then one of the hosts said, I gotta work. I warned him about women like you. And she goes like, what do you mean women like me? And then she went into this whole tirade about like, does that make you feel better about yourself to trash me as a woman and all that stuff? And then people were going in on the podcast. It's kind of like, these guys are trash. Like, why are we even listening to this? But at the same time, before this situation happened, people were listening to him and like being okay with it. And like, this is the standard. Like when he trashed the girl and she said to him, like, does that make you feel better? He was confused as to why she would be challenging him. Because he's used to it. Like, it's accepted.
Right. That's unfortunate. Well, none of that will be happening here. Let's talk about Cynthia and Megan Thee Stallion. So they dropped a video called Lick. Have you guys watched it?
Yes.
So it's like a mini WAP. And I kind of just wanted to talk about that because it's like, is this what we need to do now? We need to have the over-sexualized, really creative video that is going to make the charts as you sip your wine, Garnett.
So it's definitely beer and a nice wine glass. Got to keep it ghetto fabulous. I mean, the people that are only doing it, I guess, are the people that are building their brand off of that. So, I mean, it's pretty much on brand for the people that dropped the video. I don't think it's necessary for, you know, maybe the other females or, you know, female rappers or singers or whatever the case may be to tailor their videos like that if that's not what they're selling. You know, it's some artists that don't necessarily have to sell sex, like Rhapsody, if she's out here, you know, with her titties out and her ass out, then, you know, then we looking like, wow, this is drastic. Like you shouldn't be doing this, but you know, she came out this way. So I don't think it's, you know, it's not surprising. The only thing that can surprise me in one of these videos is if she have like a nip slip or something like that. Like other than that, I mean, she talk about it on the song. It's she's going to be provocative. So, you know,
you're talking about Megan.
Yeah, you know. So
I think I might have said this before, but I think Megan is a one-trick pony. And like, I don't dislike Megan Thee Stallion at all, but I think it's just like, this is her brand. This is what she's always going to do. I just think it gets a little problematic though, because like, wow, this is what she's going to do. And it's fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, so go for it. But like, it becomes like the norm and that's all people want to see. So then when other artists who are super talented and singers and stuff like that, like Chloe and Holly, they come out and they do stuff, like it's almost like at this point with these girls, it's kind of like, okay, so when are you going to get naked? And like, that's what's happening. It's like that Disney effect all over again. Remember before the Disney girls would come out and they're all wholesome and whatever, and then they want to be like taken more serious, so they take their clothes off. Like, it's like that, but I feel like it's like that on an urban level now. Like the girls come out and they want to be, you know, regular, covered up, and then it's like, okay, for us to notice you, it's time to take the clothes off. And I feel like that's the trajectory that all of them go on now.
Well, to piggyback off of what you just said, though, my bad to cut you off, Mina, but as far as with Meg, I feel like she actually, in my opinion, and just from what I see on the internet, she actually reached a point where people didn't care so much about her being overly sexualized and having to show the butt or show, you know, her body figures off, where, you know, she started just going viral off of face pictures. You know,
yeah, but you don't think it's an expectation of us when we hear a Meg song, or like you said it yourself, you said this is what she raps about in the song. So if she did a song and she put a full business suit on, we would look at that sideways. Like, why are you not naked?
I don't.
And I feel like she thinks that too. That's why she does it. I don't even think that it's like debatable.
I don't think that we would necessarily ask, why aren't you naked? I just think we would want to see it, but you can get that. That's something I feel like, you know, she actually curved that in a sense where, you know, she was now, you know, this is an accomplishment, but, you know, when she graduated, you know, college, that's something that was championed on the TL, and wasn't nobody saying, hey, like, let me see ass. Like, no, she was like fully clothed with the cap and gown.
I would hope so.
Right. Wasn't anybody like saying, yo, we got to see that ass? Nah,
right. But she did do a provocative photo shoot. Did y'all see that of her? Did y'all see the provocative photo shoot?
I mean, I didn't see it, but it's not
of her in the cap and gown. I'm gonna show it to y'all.
Yeah, it's not shocking, and also, like, I wouldn't expect her to show up at a graduation establishment naked. However, when it comes to the music, though, that's where we always get this, and I don't think that you would get. I mean, that's not shocking to me.
Look, so she did another photo shoot where she's literally like with her legs open in the graduation.
She feels like this is what she has to do.
And the bodysuit.
I didn't even feel like she gotta do all that, but that's touche. That might be checkmate right there, man.
I know.
No, I actually, this is why I wanted to talk about this, because it's like, is this all that we're doing now? And like, I saw, I'm not a big fan of Sensia. I know a couple of her songs, but I don't know her catalog like that. I saw a lot of comments in the video saying, why are you doing this, Sensia? You have legitimate talent. Like, you can really rap. Like, why are you doing this? What, and there's a whole challenge going on social media where people, because the song is like, put your back in it, put your back in it. And there's girls on social media putting their back in it. But I'm like, is this where we are? And I know we've had this conversation before, but then you watch a video like Lick and you're like, this is literally a carbon copy of WAP. Like, how many times are we going to see this? How many times are people going to do this? Is this where we are? And I do kind of agree with you, Dexter. It's like, at this point, Megan has built this brand, and this is just what it is for her, but it'll be interesting to see if she ever tries to pivot, if she can, because she built her brand off the hot girl summer and driving the boat and let's drink and I got my booty out and I'm twerking in the club and this is her brand and we love it. She's fun, but you can't do that at 30. You can't be that forever.
Well, I don't know, because see, this is the thing though, because this is what's hot now. So even the older girls are doing this. Like, this is, like, Ashanti's 40, and like, this is what she's doing too. Like,
yeah.
this is.
But so I'll so based off of the point you guys just made, this is just a question. So, do you feel like, you can always like take it off, in a sense of like, going from, somebody that may have started out, like you said, like an Ashanti that was covered up more, and you can get to a point where people allow you to slowly take it off, right? Where at 35, 40 years old, there's something you could do, but you can't start out that way and then put it back on. So I feel like maybe like somebody like an Ashanti, she can probably be okay with her clothes on if she wanted to 2 years later, because we already saw her like that. Somebody like Beyonce that started a little bit more provocative, but like she started out with a lot of clothes on, but we also was okay with her taking it off. So maybe there's a point where you can't go backwards once you get to that point.
I think that's Nicki Minaj right now. Like, I think Nicki started off with like not wearing much of anything. And I think now that she's older and has kids and stuff, like, she's trying to like dial it back a little bit. Like, she's not like necessarily covered up, but like her image is a little bit more mature and people aren't checking for her now. So I agree with it.
I think I just want to normalize women being different in many ways. I think that's really what my issue is. Like, we're not always this way, we're not always naked, we're not always sexual, we're not always twerking. Like, that's a facet of life, right? So it's like, I think I just want to normalize women just being in multiple spaces. And I just feel like a lot of it is just sex over sex over sex, but it's like, no, sometimes you don't have makeup on. Sometimes you put sweats on. I think I just want to see more diversity in how women are represented, because I never want to be like, oh, you're a woman, you can't, you're naked too much. You're over sexualizing yourself. Because I think women have the right to do whatever they want with their bodies. I'm just like, everything is the same. Like, I just want to see people being different. I want to see Megan do a video in sweats one day, maybe do the whole Aaliyah look, like, just switch it up, be different, be a reflection of who we are naturally as women, which is not always over sexualized with our booty out, and twerking all the time. My knees hurt sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I just want to see more diversity in how women are represented, instead of them being represented in like one certain way. Like Lotto is very sexualized, but on her TikTok, I see so many videos of her without makeup, just being goofy and fun, her hair not done, like her wearing sweats. I really enjoy that. It shows me that you're like a human, so it's like, that's what I want to see more, just people being human and not always being the brands, that they were built on.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
All right. So Patrick Mahomes' fiance, her name is Brittany, was under fire because after the Chiefs beat the Bills, obviously it was an exciting game. Her man's the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. She decides to open up a bottle of champagne in her club box and spray random people that got regular seats under her with champagne. People started to complain. She went on Twitter and said, I wish I could just do whatever I want without people attacking me every week. Is this harmless, or do people have the right to be upset that this woman's spraying champagne bottles at them from the club box?
You can go ahead, Dex.
Look, if you broke, you got the shower. It just is what it is. Because you know what? Under the club box is the cheap seats. So if you just got hit with it, you kind of stray. Sorry. I wish, leave her alone. Like, she was celebrating. And
what?
And if you were on this side, I'm assuming that you were a fan of the team too. You should join in on the celebration.
Dex, I'm surprised in your answer. I really am.
Because broke people always complain. The game was over. Get up and go home. It's not like she was doing it in the middle of the game. The game was over. Get up and move.
Girl, it's cold as hell. There might be kids down there.
Cold. It's cold down there for y'all, with y'all broke selves. It's warm up in there in the club box.
No, but if a random woman was spraying champagne on me in cold weather, I'm pulling up to the club box, Brittany. We gonna have a problem, Brittany. What is wrong with you? Then talk about, I wish I could do what I want. Yeah, you could do whatever you want, just not to other people. I don't know you, Brittany. And a girl like me, I got my hair done just to go to this game.
Yes.
So you done messed up my hair with your cheap champagne. No, Brittany, meet me outside the club box. This will be a problem for me.
Well, settle this for us.
Did y'all actually see the game?
Yeah, I saw the game.
Yeah. Well, if you're a Chiefs fan, then you understand the celebration and not giving an F after after a win like that. I mean, they got in field goal range within 13 seconds, which is super crazy. Then they get the ball back and they score to win the game. It's I don't think everybody's just happy. It is a celebration. So at least for that day, like Dex said, just take it. It just is what it is. Yeah, it's cold, but you probably drunk already anyway. The impossible just happened. I mean, I get it, but it's
obnoxious. It is obnoxious.
It is.
But are we really gonna make a big deal out of it?
Yes, Brittany, I'm gonna pull up on you.
Throw a beer at her then. Go back and pour beer on her.
I mean, it probably won't reach, but yeah, throw some stuff.
No, I just think you had a whole club box full of people that you could have sprayed. You want to go and spray the people you don't know that are under you? Nah, man. It's all kinds of privilege. It reeks of privilege. Yeah. I can do whatever I want, and to you and not care about how you feel. No, girl, go spray that in the club box.
Truthfully, in situations like that, when people do it, they really do think that you're going to be into it. I genuinely feel like she's shocked that people are complaining about this, because when people, when you're in clubs and stuff like that, when people do this, the champagne and all that kind of stuff, it sprays all over, they genuinely think that you want that done to you. They're okay. It's okay. It's a cool thing to do. So it's not right, but at the same time, I just want to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, I want to get sprayed in the cold by champagne that I can't drink and then walk home smelling like an alcoholic and mess up my hair that I just did to be at this game.
Yeah, but it's a memory that you have.
Yeah, memory I have of me pulling up on Brittany outside the club box.
I would tell you this. She actually don't care if you wanted it or not.
That's the problem that I have.
No, and so I agree with you as far as feeling privileged. Yeah, her boyfriend or husband or fiance, whatever she actually is to Patrick Mahomes, he has a $500 million contract. His girlfriend better be there. So it's not like you can kick her out or you can't do anything. He needs to be happy. So I feel she definitely does have privilege. Just off of that, I feel like his brother, and it might have been this season or last season, but his brother ended up getting into an incident with some fans as well. And it's probably because, what are you going to do to me? Nothing. No security guard is kicking me out unless I do something completely left. But you aren't going to do anything. Once again, my brother, who's the face of this team and who's going to be the face of the NFL, has a $500 million contract. This just not going to make a difference. So I feel she didn't care either way. Like, would you care if your boyfriend had a $500 million contract?
I'm not spraying champagne on random people I don't know. I'm just not doing that. I'm from a certain neighborhood that I know that you don't do that. Spraying alcohol on people, that's a fight gesture. That's like hitting someone over the head with a bottle. You don't do that. No, that's a fight gesture. You don't do that to people you don't know. That's disrespectful.
But I mean, in her defense, though, she's also 26 years old. They don't know no better.
Girl, boy, bye. All right, so let's have a conversation about what's going on with Kim and Kanye, because there's so much drama. I can't even believe that we're here, because initially when they broke up, remember, they were all kumbaya. They're like, oh, we're going through this divorce and everything is fine. You know, we care about each other. Kim showing up to his concerts and stuff. Now all of a sudden Kim is dating someone and it's a problem. So apparently, according to Kanye, he had retrieved Kim's second sex tape with Ray J and had took the red eye or something like that to get the sex tape, retrieved it, brought it to Kim. In that same day, Kim invites him to SNL and then kisses Pete Davidson in front of Kanye. So apparently this is some of the things that have happened behind the scenes that have caused the problem. So I wanted to talk about shady things that you've done to your exes. Because I feel like kissing your new man in front of this man you were just with, even if you're divorced or going through a divorce, is still fresh. I just think that's hella disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean,
no, and you guys don't.
No. It is. I'm just looking at it from the stuff that you just described. Like some of the things that they're going to is like, why are you retrieving a sex tape? Like that's first and foremost. Like, what are you doing? How much did you pay for it? I can almost guarantee there's a dub of it. Like nobody's just giving you the second verse that Kim like ever. No, yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, you know what age we're in? Then you present it to her, which is like another weird thing. Instead of just saying, yo, listen, right, like here, I want you to have it. Do what you want with your own.
Because what's more disrespectful? Her kissing her new boyfriend in front of you, or you giving her sex tape with her ex-boyfriend in front of her new boyfriend? Like, what's more disrespectful?
Well, apparently Kim was really happy that he got the sex tape, and she was crying. And according to Kanye's recollection, you know, her reputation was a little bit in the ground before he decided to be with her seriously. So it's like he feels like that tape is a representation of that old reputation that she had, that she's trying to move beyond.
Well, I'll say this to that. Her reputation was only in the basement because of where she just was at in life. All she had to do was pivot left and she would have been okay. And that's what she did. I don't know if Kanye necessarily helped that at all. Like, it's not like he's like super political or like doing things like that. I think her trying to become a lawyer and her cleaning up her own image, like the Yeezy brand didn't help that.
I think the kids played a big part and Kanye wasn't part of that.
If you're looking at the kids, okay. She could have had a kid with anybody.
Ray J had a whole song called I Hit It First, and then he went and married the woman. You can't say that he didn't kind of like tone down her that brand that she had already, where people were basically saying she's a pass around.
Yeah, but Mina, we laughed at Ray J though. Like the thing is, like Kim Kardashian was always more famous than Ray J was. So it's just kind of like it was wild that you had this sex tape, but like before Kanye came around though, Kim Kardashian had 7 different shows on TV. Like she was still like that girl, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't getting invited to the Met Gala and stuff like that though. Like Kanye did get her, like she was wearing clothes, but she was wearing clothes out of her little boutique. Like when she got with Kanye, that's when she started meeting Anna on tours and stuff like that. So he did elevate the girl a little bit. I will say that he did elevate her, but she capitalized on it and kept it going. Also, I think that Kim doesn't owe Kanye West anything. Like, remember, Kanye is the same one who was talking about how Kim wanted to abort their daughter. And like, he talks so much trash about the family on social media. When he goes through his episodes, he goes through the episodes. And it's just kind of like, yeah, for us, it seems like fresh and stuff because the divorce and stuff was just finalized. But realistically speaking, they've been done for years. Remember, they were like, they don't even live in the same state with each other. Like, it's been over. It's just now she's finally moved forward, and then he's bringing this girl out, like he's moved forward too. It's just the two of them are very silly to me, and it's more so on his part than it is on hers.
And I will say this, like, didn't he just drop like a song where like the game is like saying how he did something with Kanye and Kanye's actually on the song?
Yeah.
Like that's beyond me. And then you have the like that's crazy. Like you can't even check him. They'd be like, yo, have some respect for my
and the Drake stuff too. Like Drake has alluded to some stuff, and Kanye, and we didn't know this stuff. Kanye told us that Drake alluded to this stuff, and then here you go doing contests with Drake. So like, respect yourself, Miss Kanye. Then
you guys bring up valid points, very valid points. It's not just a one-way street. So have you guys ever done anything shady to your exes or vice versa?
I don't even have that many exes to like do stuff too. Like I got about 3 exes in my entire life, and no, 2 of them like moved away. They like met their husbands and had kids. Really nothing to do anything shady about. Like they started up in a whole new life. Like when I not, it's not like want to do something and have sex with their sisters or something. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
nah, that's not. Yeah. And when I see them, well, one I haven't seen, but if I seen her, I'll say hi. Like it is nothing. I'm not gonna try to show that person up or anything like that. I think that's more it's more woman like. So
I don't even say that because guys be very petty too. So don't do it.
Not like, hey, listen, I'm gonna invite you to this place and then kiss all over my new dude. Like, I don't think it's a dude out there that's thinking like that. But bless you. But I mean, men can do womanly stuff as well. That's something that's like that's not even crossing my mind, is to kiss my new woman in front of my old woman and look at her like, yeah, you see me, baby. Like that don't make no sense to me. Dexter did something crazy though. Look at him.
Like now I feel terrible. Like
look.
I am a very petty person. I'm naturally a very petty person, and like there's a lot of things that I've done. Like yeah, like I have, and like honestly, like I mean, yeah, like so there's 2 things that I could think of that I did that were like wild. I remember one of my exes, like I invited her over to my house for Christmas, and I got her like a Christmas gift or something like that. But like I knew she was talking to someone else shortly after we broke up, which to me leads me to believe that you cheated. And she didn't have a computer at home. And I remember taking a picture of the 2 of us, like for like the holidays, whatever, taking a picture of the 2 of us, and I posted it on her MySpace, like on her MySpace wall, and I was like, Merry Christmas. And then I put the year. And then I knew she couldn't take it down, and I knew that the boy would see it and like cause issues in their relationship. And that happened.
That's a diss record right there, bro. You dropped the whole diss record on MySpace.
That was probably one of the worst things I've done. And then also
that was a while ago, so we'll chalk it up to the fact that you were young.
I was not even in college at this point, so like this was like really young. And then I was in college. Like this girl, it's always with guys though. It's always because they try to play me or something like that. That's why I don't like it. But she was messing with a friend of mine, and I messed with her in the same establishment that we were at because I knew he was gonna be there. And then when she came out, we all sat at a table together because they were sneaking behind my back, messing with each other. And it was like a public place. And we did stuff in the restaurant or whatever. And then we all sat at the table together. And then he came in. She had no idea he was coming. So we were all sitting there. And I loved it.
That's crazy.
I did something shady, but it was a mistake. I was dating a guy, and he had this should have been a red flag from the beginning, but he had told me that he was a lot older than I was. He told me that he was trying to save his money from the IRS. So he needed me to open up like a savings account where he could put his money so the IRS wouldn't take his money, because when you owe the IRS money, they garnish your wages, they take your savings, they take everything. So I opened up a savings account for him in my name. Fast forward a year later, I believe I think he had like a bank called Wachovia, and then I had Chase. So I forgot I even opened up this account for this guy. So then Wachovia and Chase merged. So one day I log onto my Chase account and I see I got 5 accounts. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this? This has to be a mistake. Only one of these accounts are mine. So I call them. Long story short, this guy had opened up 3 additional accounts under my name from that one account.
Yeah.
So he had opened up another savings, a checking, and a credit card. And I was looking at like how he was paying the credit card, and he wasn't even paying it on time. It was a mess. And I had good credit. So I ended up telling Chase that these weren't my accounts and that my boyfriend opened these up behind my back. And we ended up calling him on 3-way.
Wait, were y'all still together?
We were together, right?
Okay.
So we end up calling him on 3-way, and he admitted, that he had opened up these accounts and stuff. So I went ahead and asked the lady, like, can you just like transfer these accounts to his name and take them off of my name, take them off of my credit, and because they're his. She's like, well, we can't do that. We got to close the account. I said, all right, fine. Come to find out later. And we broke up because of this. Come to find out later, like a month later, he calls me. He's like, oh, you bitch. You made me file for fraud. They sent me fraud papers and they said I admitted to fraud and I got to sign it. Mind you, we called him on 3-way, and it wasn't like I ambushed him. I told him, I'm going to call you with the Chase representative on 3-way so you could tell them that these are your accounts because these aren't my accounts. Mm-hmm. So he did that. So they have it in a recording. So it's not like he can go back and backtrack and be like, no, that was a lie. But yeah, he called me. He was like, you made me file for fraud, you bitch. I was going to buy a house. You mess it up for me. Like, once you file for fraud, that's it. And I was like, first of all, you hiding money for the IRS. So I don't even know how you're going to buy a house. That's A.
Also, you did commit fraud, though.
But that was my thing. And I was like, I didn't know that what we were doing was they were going to send you fraud papers. I didn't.
Well, not necessarily you, though. Like, the one account is the one account that I know about. But when you're opening up a credit card, that means if you decided not to pay that falls back on me. Like, that's fraud. If it's a checking account, savings account, like whatever, no big deal. But a credit card, like, you're ranking up charges in my name. Like,
yeah, the fact that you didn't okay those things is the only issue I really have with it, is that like that's without your knowledge, so.
Yeah, but it's funny because literally like these accounts had been open for like a year and I knew nothing about it. And he was like, I was going to tell you. I said, when? These accounts been open for a year. When you were going to tell me?
You literally are making payments on this credit card. Like, it means you're making purchases and payments. Like, you're not going to tell me.
Yo, it was crazy. And like, I didn't mean for him to file fraud charges. I'm not like a vindictive person like that. In hindsight, I was like, okay, well, if he's admitting to opening accounts behind my back, then what is that called? I just wasn't in that headspace. My whole thing is, you opened up accounts under my name. These accounts aren't in good standings. I need you to take these accounts out of my name. He had like overdrawn on the checking account. I said, bro, your life is in a shambles. If you got to open up another account under someone else's name and you still can't even manage that account well.
And you about to buy a house?
Hello. But that's the thing. When he started to come at me, he was like, well, I'm going to send my sister to beat you up. And he said all these things. And I was like, why are you mad at me? I was like, first of all, you opened up these accounts behind my back. So technically you did commit fraud. But I was like, but it wasn't my intention to get you in trouble or have you sign a paper that says you committed fraud. I just wanted these accounts out of my name. And I'm like, and I don't know how you buying a house when you hiding money from the IRS.
And let me get this straight, that you're going to call your sister like, can you go beat this girl up because she told the bank that I opened up these accounts in her name?
Is that the conversation? One, she gave me the privilege to open up one account. And I went
open up multiple accounts.
A couple more.
But here's the thing. People don't take responsibility for the things that they do, right? They like to like blame everybody else. Like, oh, you're a bad person. You didn't help me out. You made me file for fraud. You messed up my credit. And people don't take accountability for what they did. Like, what did you do, bruh? You the one that stole all my information and opened up these accounts and had it for a year. You know, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Listen, that man right there, that was like, and I felt terrible, right? Because I'm like, damn, like making someone sign.
That's when it's over. I don't feel bad no more. You what?
Well, I felt bad because my intent was never to mess up his life. You know, I mean, clearly he was having money issues or didn't know how to properly manage his money.
If you get overdrafts, you get overdrafts. Ain't much I can do to mess up your life. You already got that covered.
So yeah, that's the one shady thing that I've done. I can't think of any more. I'm sure I've done more.
He should have blamed Wachovia for merging. That's who y'all should have called. Why would y'all
that fight them?
Right, why would y'all do that? So they technically snitched on him.
Yeah, it was bad, but yeah, it was a big issue. Then he said that he was gonna send inappropriate pictures of me to my job. It was bad. Like he got real petty.
I mean,
I never understood that though. Like that is, yeah.
But like that's so even things like that, like that's things that like wear off. Like the actual
what is my manager gonna do? Look at it and be like, Dexter, you're butt naked, and I'm like, yeah, can I get that back? Like, what is? I'm gonna get fired because I'm naked? Like, I don't get it. Like,
at the end of the day, that may last 3 days on like a really slow week in life. That lasts a week. After that, no one really cares. Yeah. But what you just did and actually like admitting to it again, like why would you admit that on the phone and then admit to the person you're about to commit a crime against and think that that won't turn into something? It's like, well, now you have these actual charges now to go with this fraud stuff. So,
and in his brain, I set this all in his brain. I'm like this evil person that set this all up. Like literally in his brain, he's a victim and I'm like a bad person.
You are. You're a terrible individual, you know, for letting him open up that one account.
Right. But that's what you get sometimes for trying to be nice to people. You open up one account and then a year later you figure out they got 4 accounts and not even in good standing. So that was my one shady thing that I did. So, and then he tried to be my friend on Facebook years later. I was like, absolutely not. And then he tried to message me and was like, you act like I did something to you. Yes, you did, bro. You threatened me.
You were going to do something. Your sister was.
Right. You threatened me because you're a shady person. And I wasn't going to allow you to, you know, mess up my good credit because you're a mess. And why would you do that to somebody that you're dating? If you really care about that person, why would you want to mess up what they got going on? And then do it in such a shady way, like behind their back and not even let them know.
So was he overdrafting his accounts, taking you out on dates and stuff?
We didn't even go out on dates like that. Like I just
where the money going?
That's crazy.
I really just don't even know. I don't even remember what we used to do. We would go out to eat and stuff, but I don't remember like any elaborate dates that he took me on that cost a lot of money, you know, and sometimes we would split stuff. I'm not the kind of girl that's just gonna go out and have you pay for everything. Right, you know, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I got half or whatever, well, I got this time. You know, I'm not like that. I just don't expect you to pay for everything. Okay. Child, I don't know. It was a mess. Well, that concludes our conversation, the 210th episode of the Mina's House podcast. Hopefully Shana will be back next week and she feels better. I'm Mina SayWhat.
I'm Shana
B.
I'm Garnett Briscoe.